Let's go for a ride. Alright, my name is Venomous Skittles. Today, we'll be speaking about Furious 7. But first, we will be speaking about Tokyo Drift and how it ties in to the whole entire franchise. We won't be getting into any of the story of Tokyo Drift except for main parts of it that are supposed to tie into it. Alright, so with Tokyo Drift, it confused a lot of people, including myself, and the whole entire franchise before the newer movies came out. Nobody knew why it was made and everything. It finally comes into play after Fast and Furious 6. At the end of the movie, Tokyo Drift, Han dies. We don't know how. I mean, we know how, but we don't know why. Was it an accident, which is what most of us think, or was it a plot? It was indeed a plot. You guys know the main villain of Furious 7, Ian Shaw, Owen Shaw's brother. He is the one that killed Han. He's the one that killed Han. He's the one who killed Han. So, in an end credit scene in Fast and Furious 6, it shows Ian Shaw throwing a necklace, Dom's necklace, and calling Dom and saying these exact words: Dominic Toretto, you don't know me, but now you do. I feel like I got that end wrong. Don't quote me on the end. I think he said you're about to. Yeah, he said you're about to. Yeah, I got that wrong. Forget that I said that. Alright, so he blows him up. That scene is in Furious 7. Now, you guys remember in Fast and Furious 6, for those that did watch, Han saying that he's going to go to Tokyo because he promised his girlfriend that he would before she died. Spoiler, yes I know for those that didn't watch it, but there's going to be plenty of them in this movie. I mean, video. There's going to be plenty of them. I'm going to spoil a lot of stuff in Furious 7, and so if you guys don't want to see all the spoilers, if you guys just want to see everything for yourself, go ahead and go watch the movie before you watch this video. So yeah, that ties in like that. He goes to Tokyo, actually, and then Tokyo Drift is supposed to be after Fast and Furious 6. That's when it takes place. Now, originally, before 6 was made, I thought it was right after 5, Fast 5. But then I remembered, because I watched the movie again, that his girlfriend wasn't there in that movie at all. He was flirting with other girls. So I still wasn't able to piece it all together until the end of 6. Then I was able to piece all together, and I was like, oh, okay. Now I'll begin to talk about Furious 7. At the beginning of the movie, you see Hobbs. Hobbs is back. The great Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's back. And you see Elena get ready to leave, prepare to leave. It takes a minute, but then Hobbs goes outside to give her some papers and stuff. And no big deal. He goes back inside to see Ian Shaw at his desk hacking his computer, which is a big no-no. Big old great fight. Amazing fight. I thought that fight was amazing. It was a great fight. Blew my mind out of the water. I was just sitting there like, but it was a good fight. But then Dwayne Johnson gets blown out of the building, and then he's stuck in the hospital for the rest of the movie, until the end, which I'll explain more about soon. Because then we have the whole scene where Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker, is revving up an engine. We all start getting excited. We're like, oh, he's getting ready to race. It's about to be awesome. You know, he's about to be cool. And then next thing you know, he like goes like less than 2 feet in a minivan, and he stops. Trying to take the fatherly role. I laughed when I seen that. I laughed. I thought it was great. They did a lot. They did really good in this movie, and I loved it. Almost every single part in the movie I enjoyed. So then, you know, I don't know if it's a teacher, most likely a teacher, came out and helped him get the kid out of the car because he did not know how to open the van door. He's not a minivan person, so we all got to remember that he is used to street racing cars and not being a father, you know. So we have to, you know, remember that. Then eventually the next scene, they're all home, you know, the minivan's home and everything, and he's putting little Jack into the in the van, and Mia says, "Hey Brian, you got it's either Brian or Dom, you got a package here for you. It's from Tokyo." And Dom assumes it's Han, I think. And I watched this movie to prepare for this video, to prepare for this review. I don't know how things are slipping. I really don't, because I watched this movie last night and again earlier today. So I do not know why things are slipping from my mind. Then Dom gets that call. Ian Shaw calls him up and says, "Dominic Toretto, you don't know me, but you will." And they look, and it shows that it's from Tokyo. He looks at the box, and he says, "Get down." It explodes, the whole house blows up, everything. Now I think that explosion went a little too far because the whole house exploded. Maybe just a touch, maybe. But it was still good. It's still good. I still enjoyed that. You know, it's the main part of the story, so I enjoyed it. You know, it's good. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed. Are you sure I'm not from Tokyo? Saying enjoyed. Then all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. They freak out and everything, and then they start going after Shaw, and they can't do it. They can't get him. And all that. But before that all happens, Dom goes to Tokyo to get Han and bring him back home to bury him. And then he meets Sean from Tokyo Drift, which I wanted to see the race. I was kind of half disappointed that I wasn't able to see the race that they were going to have. But I couldn't really complain much, you know. But because the actors had so much on their hands with Paul Walker's death, which still saddens me to this day. Every single time I watch the end of the movie, throughout the whole entire movie, I get sad. It's just saddening. I have a lot of respect for these people that made the movie. I have a lot of respect. Then Dom gets some of the stuff of Hans and the necklace back. And then he goes back to America. And then we have the funeral scene, and Dom chases Ian Shaw out there, and then Ian Shaw and them get ready to fight. Shaw, I'm gonna start calling him Shaw. Shaw then brings out a gun and says he thought this was gonna be a street fight, and then a whole bunch of fire, a whole bunch of guns, and everything just happens, just randomly. We don't know who these people are. That's just weird. We don't know who these people are and everything. They just show up, and then they ask Dom for help. Dom helps him to get the God's Eye, so that way he can use it to find and kill Owen Shaw, or at least take him in custody to get his revenge. Throughout the whole movie, it's about all this. Half the movie is about going after these people that have getting this girl named Ramsey to give him the God's eye and everything. They save Ramsey. They go steal a car, a pretty expensive car that they totaled. It disappoints me because I liked that car. They meet up with a guy that apparently had it safe, that had the drive, had the file that the God's eye was in, and all that, on the chip. And then they find out that he sold it. So they have to go to this penthouse of the richest man in the Abu Dhabi, I think. No, it's not Abu Dhabi. That's Mission Impossible. I watched that the other day too, which I am still preparing for a. I watched all of them, the most current ones, not the one in theaters, not Rogue Nation. All of the ones that are out on DVD, I watched them all. So I'm preparing to review all of them as well, which I liked all of them. 2 was a little weird, but I liked all of them. They're enjoying and all that stuff. But we're not here to talk about those movies. They go in, there's a big party. They go inside to get the chip. They find out that it's in a car that's hidden. So they go and try to steal the chip that's in the car. Dominic Toretto picks the car up. They got a whole heist thing going on, which is pretty cool. You kind of see this thing, if you ever watched Mission Impossible, you kind of see this type of thing in Mission Impossible. I think it was amazing. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed stuff like that. I really do. I don't know why I do. I just enjoy movies like that. So I enjoyed that part of the movie. And then Letty gets caught with what she's doing by no other than Ronda Rousey, the UFC women's division fighting. Everybody knows her from her arm bar. She is the arm collector. Now don't get me wrong, she is quite adorable, but in this movie they made her look a little too buff. I don't know if that's real or not, but she's a little buff in this movie. I don't remember seeing her that buff in real life or in UFC. My neck kind of hurts for some reason, probably the way I'm sitting. But I enjoyed it. Her and Letty have this big ass fight, and it is intense. It is intense. I'm just sitting there like, the intenseness. Oh my god. And then I'm sitting here like, put her in the armbar. I want to see that shit. Put her in the armbar. She won't be getting out from that. But no, she didn't. And the fight continues. They break through into the main room where everybody's at, where Roman Pierce is making an idiot of himself. And I'm just sitting here laughing at everything he says, because it's awesome. And Tej is just sitting there like, he really said that? Did he just say that? Really? Tell me he did not just say that. It was hilarious. Them two are hilarious when they're acting together. I think it's amazing. It's just, them two are probably the most funniest two people in this whole entire franchise. I swear on my life. They are hilarious. Once they're together, at least. Roman, he was hilarious since Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm like, damn, this guy's funny as fuck. Excuse that language. But yeah, he was hilarious. That was a hilarious scene. They get out, and then they have to drive the car out. Dom says, "Get out, we're leaving." Brian gets out after searching for so long to get this chip, and they drive away. This car is, oh my god, I had a cargasm when I seen this shit. This car is amazing. It's red, it's beautiful, it's perfect. I love it. I want that car. I want it so bad. I really do. But it's illegal in the United States. Anyway, they drive it from that building outside the window. Brian's sitting there saying, "Cars don't fly, Dom. Cars don't fly." Earlier in the movie, he said that to his kid because he threw the car. He said, "Cars don't fly." And then the kid was like, "Cars don't fly." I thought that was adorable. I like kids. They kind of make me happy a little because they're kind of cute, adorable. Don't take that the wrong way. But the kids, I mean, some kids just make you want to be like, stop. I want to backhand you. But I can't. Because you're a kid. Other kids just make you want to hug the shit out of them because they're just too adorable, or laugh in a weird giggly way because, they're adorable. But anyhow, I thought this kid was adorable. Anywho, so that happens. They drive from the big original building, out to another building, and then through another building, and then jump out, and it flies down. Well, it doesn't really fly, but falls down, crashes, no explosions, which is actually good to see. Actually, I'm kind of happy it didn't blow up. There aren't any car blow-ups, car explosions. There are at the end. Never mind. But like natural cars, like falling cars in this movie blowing up, which I like. At least we know it's not a Michael Fox film. Michael Fox. No, I got the wrong guy. Michael Bay. Michael J. Fox is another person. I'm an idiot. Alright, anywho. At least you know it's in a Michael Bay film, which is good. If Michael Bay directed this, it would be shitty. I mean, I didn't mind the first two Transformers movies. After that, it kind of went downhill, but anyway, so they go and get out of the car, jump out of the car falls. Dom is so close to falling out of that window, it is insane. If he did it, like, if he really did that, like Tom Cruise does in his movies, Mission Impossible movies, then that's insane. Looked like he really did it though. That would be insane. Like, oh my god. That's one of the reasons why I like Mission Impossible so much, because all of Tom Cruise's, at least, stunts are real. It's insane. It makes you sit back in your chair like, what the fuck? This guy. I would not do that. Oh my god. But then, this isn't Mission Impossible, so I'm not really gonna speak about that movie. Anywho, that all happens, and they get God's Eye. They look for, actually, now that I think about it, we're already nearing the end of the movie. I feel like I skipped a shit ton of shit. I really feel like I skipped a lot of stuff. I don't know why. Did I? Let me think for a moment. I did. I skipped quite a bit because before all of this stuff that I'm talking about, they went after Ramsey, which is the truck. I skipped a main point in that, which is hilarious. This is funny. This is great. I love this part. They all fly. They plan on how to do this. The team gets pulled where Dominic Toretto is and all that stuff. And which this is a rewind pretty much. I wish I could edit my video to make this part that I'm talking about before, but I can't right now. I don't have the technology. But they fly out of airplanes. They all jump out of an airplane in their cars. I thought that scene was intense. If I can, I'll download something temporarily. No, I can't. I don't know if that's really... No, it wouldn't be copywriting because other reviewers do it. So, but then the quality would be so bad because I did it on Snapchat and recorded the screen. I didn't record it or anything, or I can't really download a video of it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. I'll find out. Anywho, we'll see at the end of the video. When it's published. Anywho, so they fly out of the airplanes. Roman is so scared to do this. He does not want to do this. That he says, I'm just going to stay up here watch things from up here, make sure everything up here is going all right. Tej and the rest of the group did not like that. So Tej presses a button, his parachute, because apparently they knew that he'd do this, that he'd be too scared. Presses a button, his parachute comes out, and he's being dragged out of the plane. And then he flies out. He's gone. He's out of the plane. And then a whole funny sequence of that happens, and because he's gliding while the others are driving on the road, going to the bus and everything. So he's just gliding. He's like, "Help! Somebody help me! Get me down from here!" Yada yada yada, all that stuff. And I'm just sitting like, I'm laughing. This movie is such a good time. It is amazing. Now, if you look behind the scenes, they actually did that. No, they didn't jump out of the plane or anything. All that was CGI. But them coming down and landing was actually real, because they took cranes and everything and dropped them with the cranes, which is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. They actually did that shit. At least the dropping of them onto the pavement, driving away. They actually did that. I'm sitting here like, that is awesome. Anywho, so they drive up, and a whole fucking warfare comes on. Like, it is insane. It is intense. Like, oh my goodness. Machine guns everywhere, shooting at everybody. Like, oh my god. And then Shaw shows up. And then Dominic and Shaw, after Dominic retrieves Ramsey, he goes off with Shaw. Shaw gets rolled down a hill, and they go their separate ways. And then eventually Dominic gets cornered by the people that were having Ramsey custody as a hostage. So that all happens, and it's pretty awesome. Paul, I was called Paul Walker, which he is, but Brian O'Connor stuck in the thing. Him and an Asian dude, which is fucking good at fighting, almost looks like Jet Li, but I'm not sure. Are fighting in there, and it gets tilted onto the side and all that, and it's gliding, going to a hill, and they race to safety. The Asian dude, I don't know his name, the Asian dude goes and shuts Brian in. Brian runs to the front of the bus and climbs out. And he takes a minute, but he climbs out and then runs along it while it is starting to fall. It is curving and starting to fall down that hill, and which is awesome. I thought this scene was pretty cool. He jumps, and Letty comes around, drifts in a circle with her car, and he grabs onto the spoiler of the car. I thought that was awesome, but then he flies off because she goes to an immediate stop afterwards, and he's flying. It was great. Then that scene ends, and then what I recently said before that happens, so I'll get back to that. They find the main man that sent him for the God's Eye. They give him the chip. Brian gives him the chip, and then he gives it to Dom, and then Dom gives it to Ramsey, and then Ramsey uses it. So many transfers. Why couldn't this is one thing that I thought was weird. Why couldn't you just give it to Ramsey in the first place? Instead of have like 2 minutes of just passing it to people. Just give it to Ramsey. It was going to go to her anyway. They then find Shaw in a warehouse of some sort, secluded from civilization. I got it right. Yes. Okay. Civilization, and they, go to attack. He says, "That's it, just a dozen men," and then he brings out a quote that is actually known in real life. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the guys that were trying to capture Ramsey shows up, and a big fight happens. I thought it was actually cool. I thought it was pretty interesting and everything. The big guy, the big guns that hired Dom and his team gets shot and all that, which sucks kind of. It was badass. He had these night vision sunglasses on, and killing people like it was nothing with 2 pistols. He's like, bow, 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 done. Everybody that I just shot is dead. In 1 shot, he runs out of ammo, and then he does some twirly thing, like he's a show off, and he gets shot. I was like, well, you doing that twirly shit, you kind of deserve that. You should have probably gotten to cover and then reloaded, and then you wouldn't have gotten shot. But yeah, then it ends. They flee, they escape, they leave God's Eye there, which sucks for them at least, and everything happens. They leave, and they go back to America because they know that the enemies have God's Eye, and they know that they will want Ramsey still, because with Ramsey still alive, the God's Eye can be stopped, because she made it. Now they go back to the United States because she says, if we're gonna have a war, let's do it on our streets. The streets we know. Which is understandable. You know your streets better than anybody else's, so that's a good place to do it. They go back to LA, and everything, is fine for a moment, and then they show up. They plan it out, which is, I thought this was actually a pretty cool plan, actually. Ramsey would jump out if they get too hot. Ramsey would jump from the original car to another car. If they got too hot after a while, jump from that car to another car. That is it. That 3rd car is done and over. If if that gets too hot, they die. They're done. Done for. So a whole bunch of shit goes down, and this a whole bunch of stuff goes down. Like everything happens. Like you're just sitting there on your toes for this whole entire scene. There is no rest in the scene. If that was a whole movie like that, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But, you get your scenes where you're like, oh, this is intense. Oh my gosh. And then you get the scenes where you're just like, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Which is why I like this movie. It is pretty, I like it. It's not just all action or all romance or all certain things. It's varied, it's varied throughout the whole entire movie. You get your romance scene with Dominic Toretto and Letty. Letty goes off somewhere because she wants to find herself. Then she finally remembers everything. She comes back into the group. I didn't say that before. She probably should have. Yeah. So everything goes down in this one scene. A helicopter comes by. For some reason, they have a predator in it, and it goes around and tracks down Ramsey to kill her. Try to kill her. Every single time it succeeds, she's in another car. She jumps into another car, which is twice. And then Hobbs finds out on the news, looks to his left, out the hospital window, sees an explosion. Sees the tower go down, the radio tower, all that stuff, TVs, everything. That tower is gone. No more TV for a while, no more radio, no more anything for a while. They do that to stop her from hacking the God's Eye. Now the only way to do it, they bring it back up. The hacking is for Brian to go to another antenna and activate it, and which he does, barely. The Asian guy shows back up. He does some intense parkour in this scene, and it's just, oh my god, it's amazing. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you at the edge of your seat, and you're just sitting like, oh, that is awesome. If you're a parkour fan like me, or can do parkour like me, I can't do it that well, but I can still parkour. Then if you're like a parkour person like me, you'll be sitting on your edge and be like, oh my god, I wish I could do that. Me and my best friend Jacob, we went into the theaters to watch this when we were both in the dorms and everything. It was insane. We watched this scene, and because me and him both do parkour, we went all around the big city of Grand Rapids just to do parkour. The whole entire city, just for a day, just to do parkour. Because why the hell not? We wanted to have fun, so we did it. We seen this shit, and we're like, We were so amazed by this parkour. We wanted to do it. We wanted to try it. I tried it. I failed. I hurt myself. But it was great. It was actually an adrenaline rush, and I got a kick out of it, doing it, even watching it. It was amazing. That guy is pretty cool. I like that guy, really. But me and my friend Jacob, we were both just sitting there like, me and him are best friends too, so we share like, feelings together. Like we're best friends, best buds. We did everything together when we hung out. It's been a while since we hung out. I still talk to him though. But anyway, you guys don't even really know about my personal life. I'm not revealing my life. We're just sitting there amazed, and when we went to the theaters, which was pretty freaking awesome. But yeah, that scene was awesome. That part was just amazing. We both were just sitting on our toes, like, what? Anywho, so they continue on. He goes up the stairs. Brian goes up the stairs and is met with this Asian dude, and they have a fight. Eventually, Brian kills him. Earlier in the movie, when that race happened, I wanted to let you guys know this because it's the key part. It's actually pretty funny because it sticks into the movie eventually, but only used twice, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that, I like that. It's interesting. So what percentage at? He goes and says, too slow, the Asian dude, when he wins that race and gets off safely. In that fight, when Brian kills him with pushing the little thing to the attaching him to this thing, and then pushing it, and then having the Asian dude fly back and get ready to be killed and fall down this hole in the building. He says, "Too slow!" Yells it out. I thought that was funny. And then they go and he gets to the thing, connects it to this phone, and it's back up. They fully hack him, which is pretty cool. Shaw shows up and has a fist fight. Not really a fist fight. They're using weapons, but they're shooting each other originally. They have the chicken match again because they had it earlier in the movie when all hell broke loose with everybody with the guns, and they get out of the cars, and Dominic Toretto says the same thing that Shaw did. He thought this was going to be a fist fight. He thought this was going to be a street fight. That's what I meant to say originally. And then he's like, "You're damn right." He pulls out his wrenches, and they have like a dual fight, like a dual weld. I want to say dual weld. Yeah, it's dual weld. Dual weld fight with Shaw having pieces of metal that came off his car, and Dom having iron wrenches, big ass iron wrenches, and it just goes on, and it is amazing. Eventually, Dom wins. Shaw's not dead, obviously, and then he gets blown up and everything. Everybody that was driving around